Welcome back to my channel Kishore Sir Ki Pathshala. We are doing chapter acid bases and salts for 10 Cbse. So we have seen how the non-metallic oxide and the metallic oxide reacts with acid and bases as such. So today what we are going to see. First of all, let's start with a simple question. Alright. So why does the curd and sour substance are not kept in a brass or copper vessels? Alright. Suppose this is the copper vessels and curd. Okay, we are not keeping curd into copper vessels. What is the reason? So if you see that curd or the sour substance, what it contains acid, right? So curd contains what? It contains lactic acid, right? Okay, so that reacts with metal. It will react with metal, okay, to form what? Metal salt. It will form metal salt and hydrogen gas is released, right? So these toxic salts created, so this is the salt which is a toxic in nature, right? So these toxic salt created are undigestible, are not digestible, okay? And the toxic compound can cause what? It can cause food poisoning and damage health, right? So that is the reason the copper vessels, okay, or the brass vessels are not used to store curd in it, okay, because it contains what? Lactic acid, okay, which reacts with the metal and it will give me the metal salt which is toxic in nature. Okay, I hope you have understood this question. Now let's see, metal compounds A reacts with dilute hydrochloric acid to produce effervescence, right? One question is metal compound A is being given which reacts with dilute hydrochloric acid to produce effervescence. The gas evolved extinguishes a burning candle. Okay, the gas evolved extinguishes a burning candles. Okay, so you know that a burning candle extinguishes particularly which gas? Oh, right, it is carbon dioxide gas. So write a balanced chemical equation. If one of the compound formed is calcium chloride, what they are saying is one of the compound formed. Okay. So now what things we have? We have got dilute hydrochloric acid. So we have got HCl on the reactant side, and on the product side, what we know is that calcium chloride they have given us. And the second thing we know that the gas which extinguishes fire is carbon dioxide gas, right? So we need to find out compound A as such. Okay. So here you see calcium and carbon dioxide. So what thing is coming in your mind is nothing but it's calcium carbonate, right? Okay, calcium carbonate. So calcium chloride plus carbon dioxide plus what we'll get? You will get water with this, right? See here. Here is the reaction written. So calcium carbonate reacts with hydrochloric acid to give calcium chloride, carbon dioxide and water, right? So this is how we are going to write down the reaction accordingly. So now let's see what happens. What do all acids and bases have in common? Okay, what they have in common. For this we are going to do one activity. What activity we are going to do? Let's see. So we are going to take a beaker, okay, right? So we know that acids have similar chemical properties, okay. So we saw that acids generate what? They generate hydrogen gas on reacting with metal, okay. So hydrogen seems to be common for all the acids. Let us perform the activity to take what we are going to take. We are going to take solutions of what? Glucose. We are going to take solution of alcohol. We are going to take hydrochloric acid and sulfuric acid as such, okay, right, for this. And we are going to perform this activity, okay. So what we are going to do, we are going to fix two nails here. Here you see we are going to fix two nails on a cork and place the cork in what? We are going to place the cork in a beaker as such. Okay, in 100 ml beaker, and we are going to investigate whether all the compounds contains hydrogen or not. Let us do this one by one. Right. So what we are going to observe here, you see, is this is the setup. Right. So we have got the nail, we have got the rubber cock. On that we have put iron nails, and here is the electric circuit is there, battery is there, cells, and along with a bulb is there. Okay, so now one by one we are going to put the solution into it. Let's start with glucose first. Right, let us put glucose. The bulb will start glowing in case of acids. Right, okay. Now if you put acids into this, the bulb will start glowing uh, through this electric circuit. Now, if you put glucose and alcohol, you will see that this if you put this solution, they will not conduct electricity, right? Why? Because they do not dissociate into ions. So they do not dissociate into ion. This one, glucose and alcohol, they do not dissociate into ion. So glowing of bulb means what? There is a flow of electric current through the solution. The electric current is carried through the acidic solution by the ions, right? In case of acidic solution, what is happening? The electric current is carried through the acidic solution by the ions. Acid contains H plus ions as cations and anion as Cl minus in HCl. If you see here in HCl, what we see is that H plus is the cation and Cl minus is the anion. Like you see that acetate is there in acetic acid, right? Okay, and here you see that uh, sulfate is there in sulfuric acid, and you have got nitrate in nitric acid. Okay, so you see that the cation present is in acid is what is H plus. This suggests that acid produce what? It produce hydrogen ions, that is H plus in aqueous solution. So which is responsible for the acidic property of the acid, right? So if we take for example alkalis like sodium hydroxide, what you see is that you have got OH minus ion as the anion, right? Okay, as the anion, that is the OH minus, and cation here is what is my sodium. Okay, right, and you see that calcium is there, and Na in NaCl. Since what we see is that we see here we see here that anion present in bases is OH minus. This suggests that the bases produce what? They produce the hydroxyl ion, right? That is the OH minus ion, the bases produced in the solution, okay, which is responsible for the basic property of the bases, right? So let's see this. Alcohols and glucose, we know that they are what? They are a covalent molecules. Okay. Here you see you have put glucose into this and the bulb is not glowing. Right. Why the bulb is not glowing? Because alcohol and glucose molecules are not ionized in water. They do not ionize in water because of the bonding with these molecules is strong enough to resist the breaking of this bond by the polar water, right? So the water molecules cannot break down this bond. So no charged ions in the water from ionized molecules, and so no conductivity is there. So if you see the hydrogen atom in the glucose and alcohols are covalently bonded, right, which is a strong bond, so it requires a very large amount of energy for it to break down, right? So the breaking is not possible, and let loose the hydrogen so that the solution can conduct electricity. Though the hydrogen is present in glucose or alcohol, So what will happen is that this hydrogen is not easily available for ionization right now. Okay, so it's not going to break out easily because a large amount of energy is required for this breakage. So what will happen is that the hydrogen is not available. So what will happen? So there is no ionization is taking place in water, and so there will be no conductivity, right? So student, I'm sure you have understood today's topic. So kindly like, share and subscribe my channel Kishore Sir Ki Pathshala for more informative videos.